Hello friends. So today we're going to talk about the associative property of multiplication. The associative property of multiplication tells us that we can group numbers in different ways when multiplying at least 3 together and the product will stay the same. We'll put the parentheses around any two numbers in that multiplication problem and the final product won't change. For example, we can do 2 times 3 associated times 4 or 2 times 3 times 4 associated because both equal 24. Let's take a little bit of a closer look. So here, this 4 is going to associate either with this 4, the first 4, or that 4 is going to associate with the 2. These parentheses show us where the associations are happening. And if we work this out, 4 times 4 is 16, times 2 is 32, because 16 plus 16 is 32. 4 times 2 is 8. Again, we always do what's in the parentheses first. 4 times 2 is 8, times 4, we all know the answer is 32. So both sides of the equation equal 32. Let's take a look at a different problem. So here, we're going to associate the 3 with the 4 on this side, and on this side we're going to associate the 3 with 5. Let's work out the numbers. So 4 times 3 is 12 times 5. We've already done the 12 times table. We know that's equal to 60. On the opposite side, 4 times 15 is equal to, if we don't know the 15 times table, 15 plus 15 is equal to 30. Another 15 plus 15, that gives me 4 15s, is equal to 30. And when I add them up together, I get 60. So again, it is true that either side of the equation is equal to 60. Even though on here, we associated the 3 with 4, and here we associated the 3 with 5. Let's take a look at another one. So 6 times 4 times 2, or 6 times 4 times 2. 6 times 4 is 24 times 2. We're going to say that's the same as 6 times 8. We know that 24 plus 24 is 48, and we know that 6 times 8 is 48. Again, regardless of which numbers were associated together, we still get 48 on either side as a product. Next problem. Here, we are going to actually break apart the 30 into two factors that are easier to multiply. So I'm going to say that 30 is the same thing as 10 times 3. And then, of course, we have to multiply by 7. Now I'm going to use my associative property. I'm going to leave my factors in the same order, but I'm going to change the association. So now I'm going to associate 3 with 7. Now that tells me 10 times 3 times 7 is 21. And we know that if we multiply by 10, it's that we ignore the 0 for this moment. 1 times 21 is 21. And then we cannot ignore the fact that it's in the tens place value. That means we have 21 tens. I have to add or place a 0 to show that I now have 21 tens and not 21 ones. Okay, so this is how the associative property can help us. Let's try another one. 40 times 3. Why don't you pause the video and see if you can figure it out on your own, and then come back and check. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So here I have 40 times 3. I'm not quite sure what that number is, so I'm going to break the 40 apart. I'm going to put it into a friendly fact. 10 times 4 times 3. So now I'm going to keep my factors in the same order, but I'm going to change their association. I'm now going to associate 4 and 3. 4 times 3 is 12 times 10. And now I'm going to use my multiplication by 10. I am going to do 1 times 12 is 12. Now I'm placing it into the tens place. I must add a 0 at the end, or place a 0 at the end, to show that I'm now working with 12 tens and not 12 ones. So my answer to 40 times 3 is equal to 120. Let's take one more look. So this looks a little bit intimidating when you first look at it, but using the associative property makes it a little easier for us to work this out. So again, I'm going to break this down into 12 is the same as 10 times 12 times 3. I think I said 10, but I meant 120. Is the same as 10 times 12 times 3. I'm going to use my associative property again. I'm going to go 10 times 12, leaving the factors in the same order, times 3, and now I'm going to associate 3 and 12. I know that 3 times 12 is 36. I'm going to multiply that by 10. Same thing again, I'm going to ignore the 0 for now. 1 times 36 is equal to 36. And now placing it into the tens column, putting 36 tens, I now place a 0 at the end to show that I'm in the tens place. And the answer is 360. So many times this will help you to solve large, complicated facts by breaking them down and reassociating the factors. Please review this video, and if you have any questions, ask me. And when you are done, go ahead and grab one of the associative property sheets and work out some of the problems.